All right, grand evening, everyone. It's Shay Seeking from American Aborigines Unchained. And we're going to go ahead and go into the Colbrin Bible this evening. Yeah, so I'm reading up on some stuff because, like I said, the spiritual battle is never ending, and there's always things, it's always moving. Paths and decisions that need to be made in order for you to move forward. And so again, I was going through the text and I hadn't been through it in a while. And I came to chapter 13, the life force. And I just thought that I would share it with you guys. For those of you who may not have a Colbrin Bible or maybe never heard of it, I'm going to go ahead and just read it really quick. So again, okay. So I would like to say that in doing these types of videos, we're just trying to seek understanding so that we can make sure that, again, I'm just trying to seek understanding, because, who wants to, err, who wants to end up going in the wrong direction when it comes to your spiritual ascension, if we can just say it that way. Okay, so I'm here to do my best. I don't want to, I don't think it's a such thing as failing, but I don't want to err. Okay. So again, if I do, I would like to learn a lesson from that and be able to make better decisions in the future, because again, that's all it's really about. So, okay. So this is, I guess this is out of the book of Lucius. Okay. And it says, when the child grows up, becoming youth or maiden, it enters into a struggle with existence and worldliness. It becomes like a swimmer setting out to cross a turbulent river. Individuals try to mold the world to their own way of thinking, but the world fights back. And in doing so, shapes each one into an image differing from his own conception. To each person, Earth takes on a different aspect according to individual thoughts and inclinations. The life force centered in man is not something unique in nature, and the vast ocean of life seeks to draw it back into itself. Therefore, if the life force is to remain separate within the individual, okay, the individual must be prepared to face conflict and opposition. The struggle to retain life cannot be renounced. No one can cut him off from the difficulties of worldly existence or discard the burden of manhood or womanhood. While strength and vitality thrive within the mortal container, worldly problems and difficulties must be steadfastly faced and overcome. But at the onset of middle age, each one should prepare for the downhill run. And by this time, the soul spirit should be aroused to consciousness and be well and harmoniously formed. Each person should be, by this time, be strong enough to face the inevitable of old age, decay, and death with equanimity. Okay. At this, the turning point of life, there should be an inward turning, a greater effort expanded in seeking to understand the purpose and meaning of life. There should be a seeking after spirituality, after fulfillment. The sole purpose of the earthly life is to realize the development of latent power in man. All the problems and struggles, all the spiritual difficulties and obscurities, all the paradoxes and all the experiences of joy and sorrow, pleasure and pain, simply serve to awaken the soul spirit. Life is all embracing. It includes both birth and death, growth and decline, the contrast and the opposites, the active and passive, male and female. It is knowledge of the individuality, his separateness, his consciousness, his self that raises man above the level of dumb creatures. But this position cannot be maintained without effort. It will always be easier to fall than to rise. It to go back instead of forth. The child knows little of the burden imposed by life, but as it grows older, its light heartedness becomes overshadowed by the knowledge of duties and obligations, which must be assumed. The heart of our weaker brethren are so often filled with a longing to return to the state of protected childhood. Wow. That they are easily beguiled by parental faiths, which treat them as children. They find it easy to cast their spiritual burdens at the feet of comforting priests. But such action is not only childishly irresponsible, it is also morally cowardly. The spirituality irresponsible, who seek to comforting creed, are generally apathetic or selfish persons, careless of their spiritual life and its needs. My friends, the ultimate final thing we must depend upon is the soul spirit. Only that accompanies the individual into the life eternal, but it is too late to come to the realization upon the deathbed. Those who have confidence in their future existence are only truly contented ones on the earth. Man should never forget that his most important aspect of the soul spirit is the soul spirit, and he should not be neglectful of its needs and demands. He should not confuse it with frail mortal body, whose needs and demands, if given full reign, will override those of his greater self. Man must understand life. He must understand its forces, which play about him, to understand. Now, again, when they're saying man, I'm guessing they're talking about woman too, in a sense. I don't want this to look like I'm trying to tell man what to do. I just thought that this chapter was very interesting. And again, it was speaking to me, but I only read up until this point by myself. So again, I don't know what's to come. And again, that's why I like the beauty of this, because again, I'm taking you on the journey with me. I'm pretty sure some of you guys have seen videos in the past and everything. So we're learning and we're running into walls and we're, turning, we're changing things. We're learning and growing along the journey. Again, I'm just displaying mine here. Okay. So to understand it fully is to know one's own destiny, one's own heritage of struggle, and one's own trials. Man must resolve on the inner search and follow its trial diligently. When a man's life becomes a pattern of perfection and reflection, the perfection above, he is a container for the life force and a channel for the downpouring power which serves to uplift the whole of mankind. Becoming this is, in fact, the only real service man can render to the apologies to the Supreme Spirit. Okay? Man's prime duty is to himself, and even when he serves others, he is serving his own ends. Therefore, he should not be hypocritical about his goodness. The good deed of men are the soul spirit molders, and also are spiritually freedom from agnosia. Okay, that's a new word for me. Forbearance, love of truth and justice, tranquility of heart, simplicity, austerity, generosity, and integrity. Only in a well balanced being can the life force manifest harmoniously. Therefore, all excesses of joy and sadness, pleasure and melancholy, despair and exhilaration are to be avoided. The rule must be oft repeated: moderation in all things and complete control over thyself. My friends, I have revealed to you the nature of the inner being who controls all things from within. Now it is up to you to use this knowledge to good effect. I have shown you the cords by which the spheres are held together, and the same cords bind all things. You ask me, what is a good man? He is one in whom goodness triumphs over evil, whose qualities grow stronger daily, while his evil qualities weaken in him conceit, a very consciousness, okay? A very consciousness, selfishness, anger, rashness, nausea are diminishing each day, and he governs his life in accordance with the good books. Self mastery is freedom, not the restraint, for it is bondage to the body, which makes life a misery to the man who aspires to goodness and the spirituality inclined. This bondage is caused by ignorance of the true nature of man and his destiny, and can best be overcome by a steady advance towards the self-knowledge, spirituality, and soul spirit awakening. The essential qualities for such advancement are tranquility of the heart, which means serenity, self-mastery, fortitude, and resolution under the affliction of life, kindness and consideration for others, a life led in accordance with the good book. The man who is truly good understands the troubles of another and stands ever ready to help the weak and oppressed. He never boasts of his achievements and treats every woman with respect, the same respect he has for his mother. He does not sully his lips with falsehood and is free from the fetters of greed and envy. The life force diversifies into many expressions, the greatest of which is love. This is a prime quality essential to the soul spirit awakening, but it may take on many forms. Reverence is a form of love. So is the appreciation of melody and beauty. Uprightness is love manifesting in self-control. Wisdom is desire okay, for truth is another form of love. Duty and obligation call forth an expression of love in different aspects, though no less strong and beneficial. My friends, there are those who teach that spirituality comes from turning away from the world. But this is a wrong teaching, for life is meant to be lived fully. And to live means to experience. A man who shuts himself away from the world can love no one except for himself. To say he does it for love of the Supreme Spirit is empty talk. No step is lost on the path of experience. Though sometimes what appears to be a gain will be a loss, but so may a loss be a gain. The wayfarer must keep one objective ever before his eyes, and that is the ultimate end. He must strive towards this with all his resolution and allow nothing to divert him. The alluring side roads are many, branched and led to dead ends, and along them worldliness beckons bewitchingly. Along the road there are strugglers and stragglers, seekers and non-starters. Therefore, If you would travel the road, firmly rid yourself of the burden imposed by worldly and selfish desires. This does not mean the worldly things are to be completely shunned, for worldly success is not to be despised if sought with moderation and without prejudice or greater things. In all things, there is a proper balance of and state of harmony. However, whatever comes your way, do not become too elated with success or too downcast by failure. Both are tests and serve the same end. Mm. Labor in the cause of earthly gain is of less value than labor which benefits mankind or glorifies earth. Therefore, if a creed brings men together only for worship, it serves little purpose. But if it is also a creed where men labor to learn, to beautify life, and to advance mankind, then its value is beyond estimation. The life force may be conserved and guarded. It must not be dissipated in the uncontrolled uh, tempest of passion and emotion. These carry away the life force, as the winds carry away the autumn leaves. My friend, one of you says, my words confuse him because they contain contradiction, indicating two paths, and asks which is the best for attainment of the supreme goal. Let me say, and heed it well, that the most profound truths can be explained in the limited expression of men only by seeming contradictions and paradoxes. Man may travel two paths to the perfect lying beyond earth. One is the path of wisdom lit by the lamp of vision, and the other path of action lit by a lamp of determination. There are men of wisdom and counsel and men of deeds and action. All are equally necessary to maintain the balance of harmony of life. And an existence with one and not the other becomes chaotic. Wow. Wow. Because, in my mind, I'm thinking, there's two paths, spiritual paths, or laid out, before me, and obstacles and all kind of things are going on each path. But again, it does feel also like as if there's it's all love, right? But it's almost like how it's saying the two. 1 second. And it's it seems like it may be necessary for both, like or just be open, and even it's making me think like just I'm seeing going down this road and having those two lanes there, and I don't know I'll have to look at this a little bit deeper. I'm gonna have to reread this one. It's Lucius 13 and 20. And again, if these paths are even being taken at different times and it's time to jump off of one and onto the other, okay. But yes, that is where, yeah, the lamp of determination, and then the one of wisdom, there are men of wisdom and counsel and men of deeds and action. All are equally necessary to maintain the balance and harmony of life. Okay. And an existence with one and not the other becomes chaotic. So again, it's kind of like how I feel, as though, that is what I feel. you know. And I think it just feels like either like it's on this journey, you know, it's the world is saying, you know, choose or even choose yourself, right? But like deep inside of me, I just, you know, I don't know. I see it as needing both. And in getting rid of that feeling of what was it that we were talking about there? Like well, they use lust in another term to describe, you know. Yeah. So okay, let's keep going. I'm gonna have to go ahead and marinate on that a little bit later. Um, so it says two things man cannot do. He cannot refrain from learning, and he cannot refrain. I think it was passion, and, yeah, lust or something. What it was. Okay, that can take over, and then you lose sight of what the real message or the real method might be. Okay, from action, he must not turn his back on life or renounce the worldly struggle. Okay, again, and this is like a big one for me. you know, and I get it because again, just personal conversations and reflection from the spiritual realm, has been, really telling, trying to show me this here. Okay. However, there is learning that is beneficial and learning which is not. There are actions which are good and others which are bad. It is the choice that counts. Okay. Man is like a cornered bear. Now again, I'm feeling like we're talking about, man as a general of talking about people. We could be just talking about man. We could be talking about man as since how we would say man came and conquered the earth. We could be, but right now I'm just, saying I don't want this to, again, I'm not saying anything. The book is saying what it's saying, but there's no rhyme or reason, again, because we can all learn something from it, and that's why I chose this chapter to read. So man is like a cornered bear. A life is like the hunters who surround it. So again, yeah, life is like the hunters who surround it, goading it into action. Ooh, forcing it to strike. Ooh, almost just, you know, kind of sound like a yeah. Um, so are all men driven to action by the nature of things, and any who seek to avoid it while permitting their thoughts to wander to wander wait a minute, what is this? Oh, idly towards life pleasures do inestimable damage to their soul spirit. Okay. So again, they can do, and I'm wondering if this soul spirit has something to do with any kind of spiritual intertwining of self, right? Between higher and lower self, or just of self, and or if it's having something to do with a connection to another soul spirit. Okay, whether it's someone of a, I don't know. Okay, I'll just, because I don't want to go too far with it, we'll just stop there. The true man is one in whom wisdom and action are balanced, whose mind, controlling his inner force with harmony, governs his resolute step. Apologies. I need to put a light on. His resolute steps along the path of action. And the mortal body could not exist here were it not continually active. Okay. So again, on my journey, finding the balance between family and self, and not losing yourself, especially being someone who has been more of a at home mom all this time, and basically not really having to deal with that particular real world, right? Fully. There's some good things about that, and then there are some things that are not so good, and it comes to this, what I feel like what we're talking about here. Okay. Okay. So let's keep going. A mortal body could not exist here were it not continually active. Okay. The life force is man. Okay, apologies. The life force in man turns the wheel of progress, aim to be good and carry out all allotted tasks in life, and progress in the right direction will flow. Though it is folly to sit irresolutely at the crossroads. Mm-hmm. It is no wiser to press forward along the wrong road. Okay, so this book, it's okay. So, it's helping, but it just, let me have it really. Because deep down inside, when you're in that mindset of picking one, road or whatnot, or one path, you see, you somehow already know. Okay, well, let's keep going. The baby's crying and I don't want her to be interrupting the video, so let me hurry up with this. Have faith in these teachings and follow the indicated path with cheerfulness. Okay, so again, that is one thing that I think I strive in that a little bit. I can pat myself on the back a teeny bit about that, trying to keep, a smile on my face. And that doesn't always mean cheerful. So, goodwill and resolution, and your soul spirit will safely reach the high paths where it can look out and over the good country spread before it. Ignore the inner urges which rise from the depths of the mortal flesh and drive a man, often even unwillingly, to act wrongfully. Okay? So again, it's almost even, reminding me of, things being done properly or the right time for certain things, and, other things getting in the way of that, where you might just ruin a lot of things with that one thing. It's almost even like the whole thing where, again, I have my personal view, or I have my way of seeing the whole woman and man and Adam and Eve and the serpent and whatever but again, it's kind of, reminding me of something of that nature. Okay. Have faith in the reality of the soul spirit, for it is the only permanent thing in the ever-changing waters of life. It may be hidden deep in the agnosia. It may be clouded by moral or mortal desires, as fire is clouded by smoke, by petty, unfruitful pursuits, as a mirror is darkened by dust, or by the denseness of matter, as a kernel is hidden by its shell, but the reality lies underneath. The life force must never be consumed by flames of desire, generating in the flesh unhealthy or abnormal desires. Okay, but again, some desires are healthy and normal, but it says unhealthy and abnormal ones. Okay, like wood ants burrow into the minds of men and breed there. And I hope that this is going to, help someone, like it's kind of helping give me some life right now. Because again, I just speak these things, and I'm not trying to prepare or cast or do any kind of, this is why I just free flow with it, you know. And a lot of times I end up reading stuff and it's smacking me in the face more than anything. So I don't read these things in order to tell somebody something. It's just, it's been put on my heart. Sometimes I flip to a page and it just correlates with something I was already doing or talking about or thinking. And I think, hey, somebody might want to hear this. So again, it is what it is. Okay. The life force must never be consumed by flame of desires generating in the flesh. Okay, we already did this. 1 second. In the minds of men and breed there. Okay, I'll be right there. I might have to call. Okay, apologies. Oh my goodness. They can't close it all the way. And I really am almost done. I think it's only like it's just a little bit left, y'all. Again, I hope everybody is enjoying their Saturday. It's kind of looking a little gloomy over here now. But I went and got some more garden supplies today. So I can plant some of my stuff that sprouted up. Kind of excited about that. But anyways, okay. Let's see. Burrow into the minds of men and breed there, eating away their reasoning powers and wisdom. From such desires arises a nauseous cloud of vapor, which having overcome reason and wisdom, smothers the soul spirit in darkness. Therefore, he masters the directors of your, masters and directors of your desires. Great are the powers of the senses and the worldly desires to which they pander. Oh, okay. All right. To bind and blind. But the resources of the soul spirit are infinitely greater if you will only call them forth. So stretch out and grasp the sword beyond the limits of morality and slay the enemies of the soul spirit, even though you lack the resolution to fight for any cause, however great. Fight for yourself, for your own preservation into eternity. Those who lack faith in the existence of truth, who cannot summon the strength to struggle, who have not the fortitude to stand the long weary years of preparation, will never penetrate the veil to see the wonder of glory beyond. There is a glorious eternal beauty shining over the universal vastness. In our rare moments of illumination, man may glimpse the everlasting in things which pass away. This is the message handed down through the ages. This is the message of all the true spiritual teachers, all poets, musicians, and artists, all who beautify and glorify life. Convey only the same message in infinite variety of expression. All right. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's a very beautiful thing. And again, I just feel like I'm just in this place where I'm just so like grateful and thankful, and I'm just feeling something, and it's just like, oh man, you know, you getting up there in age, and it's just like, I thought that it was going to be going downhill from here, but everything is just like so yeah, you know, I'm just really somewhat elated, even though there are some, you know, things to reflect on that may hurt a little bit. But again, I want to thank you guys for listening, and let me know what you guys think down below. Um, and yeah, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and join us in the Facebook group American Aborigines Unchained. Um, if you'd like more alternative information. And yeah, take care.